In today's video, we will be exploring the 15 worst school shootings in American history. From Sandy Hook to Virginia Tech, we discuss how these tragic events unfolded. 1. Virginia Tech, April 16, 2007, 32 victims. The deadliest school shooting in U.S. history took place on the campus of Virginia Polytechnic Institute and State University, commonly known as Virginia Tech, in Blacksburg. At the time of the shooting, the 32 shooting victims made it the deadliest shooting incident in the U.S., though that grisly title would later be overtaken by the shootings at Pulse nightclub in 2016 and later the shooting at a country music festival in Las Vegas in 2017. The shooting took place almost exactly 8 years after the Columbine shooting, when a 23-year-old student opened fire at 2 locations on campus, first in a dorm room and then in an academic building across campus. In total, he killed 32 victims and injured 23 others before turning the gun off himself. 2. Sandy Hook Elementary School, December 14, 2012. 26 victims. Perhaps the most famous of them all, another young man devastated a community when, 5 years later, after first killing his mother, he drove to a nearby elementary school and opened fire, killing 20 children and 6 school administrators before killing himself. The shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School in the sleepy town of Newtown, Connecticut, prompted a national outpouring of grief. Emotions ran high when then-President Barack Obama made a statement about the shooting, pausing at one point to wipe away a tear. The majority of those who died today were children, beautiful little kids between the ages of 5 and 10 years old, he said in the White House briefing room. They had their entire lives ahead of them, birthdays, graduations, weddings, kids of their own. Among the fallen were also teachers, men and women who devoted their lives to helping our children fulfill their dreams. So our hearts are broken today. The outrage over the shooting led to a push for federal changes to gun laws, but the bill did not pass. Instead, in the years since the Sandy Hook shooting, a number of states have changed their local laws. 3. Marjorie Stoneman, Douglas High School, February 14, 2018, 17 victims. While the response of thoughts and prayers offered after mass shootings was once again decried by many as inadequate, the reaction after the shooting at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School differed from others.
From the Parkland
Almost
massacre,
immediately after the shooting, the teens who survived stepped into action, launching what would be a national push for gun control, culminating in the March for Our Lives. New gun laws were passed in Florida a little over 3 weeks after the shooting, when 14 high school students and 3 school administrators were killed. 4. Santa Fe High School, May 18, 2018 to 10 victims. Just 3 months after the Parkland shooting, another high school was the scene of a mass shooting, this time in Texas. In total, 8 students and 2 teachers were killed by a 17-year-old gunman. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said that the shooter allegedly wrote in journals that he wanted to carry out the shooting and then commit suicide, but on the day of the shooting, he gave himself up to authorities. 5. Umpqua Community College, October 1, 2015, 9 victims. A student in one of the writing classes offered at the Roseburg, Oregon, school started shooting victims, reportedly one by one. The 26-year-old shooter fatally shot himself at the scene. Our thoughts and prayers are not enough, then President Obama said on the day of the shooting. It's not enough. It does not capture the heartache and grief and anger that we should feel, and it does nothing to prevent this carnage from being inflicted in someplace else in America. 6. Red Lake Senior High School, March 21, 2005. 7 victims at the school. Robert Cook from the Red Lake Indian Reservation performs a traditional ceremony at St. Philip Church during a memorial service to mourn the victims killed at Red Lake High School, March 23. The deadly shooting spree on Red Lake Indian Reservation in Minnesota started before it unfolded at the local high school. First, the 16-year-old shooter killed his grandfather and the grandfather's girlfriend before driving to Red Lake Senior High School, which he used to attend, and opening fire. The shooter killed 7 people at the school, including students, a teacher, and a security guard, and injured 5 others. The shooter was injured by responding officers, but then reportedly retreated and fatally shot himself. 7. Oikos University, April 2, 2012. 7 victims. A Korean Christian college was the site of a deadly shooting in 2013, when a 43-year-old former student returned to the campus of Oikos University and opened fire. There were 7 victims killed and 3 others injured before the shooter was taken into custody. The suspect reportedly went looking for a female administrator that he was angry with, but when he realized she wasn't there, he asked students to line up. When they didn't comply, he started shooting. At the time of this shooting, which happened in Oakland, California, it was the fourth deadliest shooting on an American college campus. 8. West Nickel Mines School, October 2nd, 2006. 5 victims. A 32-year-old local milk delivery man drove a pickup truck to an Amish schoolhouse after dropping off his own children on their school bus. The shooter, who was not Amish, had a handgun in his hand when he entered the school. A police officer later said that it appears that the suspect went to the school with the intention of killing young girls after he purposefully let the young boys and adults out of the schoolhouse. A police official said that the girls were lined up against the chalkboard and he had taken wire and bound their legs together. The suspect's wife found notes that the suspect had left for their children, and thinking that something was wrong, she called his cell phone. He made some statement about revenge for something in his life 20 years ago, the police official said. The shooter called 911 and gave a warning before he started shooting, eventually killing 5 girls and injuring 3 others. The suspect also fatally shot himself. 9. Northern Illinois University, February 14, 2008. 5 victims. A former graduate student who opened fire after walking into an auditorium during an oceanography class reportedly left a Valentine's Day note for his girlfriend before leaving for the shooting. The shooting at Northern Illinois University, where 5 people were killed and at least 16 others were injured, was reportedly influenced by Columbine, as the 27-year-old suspect examined the methods of the Colorado shooting and was fascinated by Columbine, according to a police report on the case. The shooting took place a decade to the day before the deadly shooting at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. 10. Santa Monica College, June 7, 2013. 5 victims. While the shooting at Santa Monica College would not be considered a mass deadly shooting itself, since there were 3 people killed there and not 4, there were 2 others that the shooter at the school killed before arriving on the scene. The suspect reportedly fatally shot his father and brother, set their house on fire, and then made his way towards the college campus. Police said the suspect was wearing a protective vest and carrying so much weaponry he was, in the words of one official, ready for battle. 11. Marysville Pilchuck High School, October 24, 2014. 4 victims. The 15-year-old shooter who fatally shot 4 students before killing himself reportedly lured his victims to his lunch table via text before the shooting. The only pre-planning of the event that detectives are able to confirm is that the shooter had arranged for a meeting of friends during lunch in the cafeteria. A witness confirms that the 5 victims were seated at the table when the shooter opened fire, striking the victims before turning the gun on himself, police said in a statement after the Marysville Pilchuck High School shooting. Not all of the victims died on the scene, but some died later in the hospital, changing the death counts in the immediate aftermath. 12. Columbine High School, April 20, 1999 to 15 victims. On this fateful day, the nation stood in disbelief as the events unfolded at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. The Columbine High School massacre remains one of the most devastating and influential school shootings in American history. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, 2 students at Columbine High School, embarked on a meticulously planned attack that would forever change the lives of students, families, and communities. Armed with firearms, explosives, and a deeply disturbed mindset, they unleashed a reign of terror within the school's halls. The horrifying scenes that unfolded that day were marked by chaos, fear, and unimaginable acts of violence. Students and teachers became targets of the shooter's rage, resulting in the loss of 15 innocent lives, including their own. Dozens more were injured. In the aftermath of the Columbine High School shooting, a wave of shock and grief washed over the nation. It sparked soul-searching conversations about bullying, mental health, and the role of firearms in society. The event also prompted significant changes in school security protocols and law enforcement responses to such incidents. 13. Marjory Stoneman, Douglas High School, February 14, 2018 to 17 victims. Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School, a place of learning and promise, became the site of one of the deadliest school shootings in American history. The Parkland shooting stands as a stark reminder of the urgent need for action to prevent such senseless acts of violence. On that tragic day, a former student, armed with a weapon of destruction, unleashed unimaginable horror upon the halls of Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. In a matter of moments, lives were forever shattered, and the nation was left reeling in grief and disbelief. The stories of heroism and survival emerged from the chaos. Students and faculty members displayed unimaginable courage, protecting one another and seeking refuge as bullets rained down upon them. Tragically, 17 lives were lost, leaving behind devastated families and a community forever scarred. The Parkland community rallied together, united by resilience and a shared determination to prevent future tragedies. Memorials were held, commemorating the lives lost, while survivors and their allies organized events like the March for Our Lives, amplifying their calls for comprehensive gun reform. 14. Westside Middle School, Alaska, March 24, 1998. 5 victims. On this tragic day, Westside Middle School became the site of a devastating school shooting that shattered the innocence of a tight-knit town. The Jonesboro shooting stands as a somber reminder of the profound impact of such acts of violence on individuals, families, and communities. In a shocking turn of events, 2 young students orchestrated a planned attack on their fellow classmates and teachers at Westside Middle School. Armed with firearms, their actions unleashed a wave of terror and left lives forever altered. Amidst the chaos and confusion, acts of bravery and selflessness emerged. Students and educators found themselves thrust into a situation that no one should ever experience. Tragically, 5 lives were lost that day, leaving behind grieving families and a community grappling with incomprehensible loss. Today, we remember the lives tragically taken away too soon. They were vibrant young souls, each with dreams and aspirations that will forever remain unrealized. Their absence is a constant reminder of the pain and grief inflicted by acts of violence within our schools. In the aftermath of the Jonesboro shooting, the Jonesboro community rallied together, drawing strength from one another. Support poured in from near and far as the healing process began. Families leaned on one another, finding solace in shared experiences and the unwavering support of their community. Throughout the years, the Jonesboro community has demonstrated incredible resilience. Memorials and remembrance events have been held to honor the lives lost, while survivors and their families have come together to advocate for change and foster a sense of unity. 15. Cleveland Elementary School, January 29, 1979. 6 victims. The Cleveland Elementary School shooting serves as a stark reminder of the devastating impact of gun violence on innocent lives. In a shocking turn of events, a troubled individual armed with a firearm arrived at Cleveland Elementary School. In a matter of minutes, the school grounds were turned into a scene of unimaginable horror. Lives were forever changed, leaving families, friends, and an entire community grappling with profound grief and loss. Amidst the chaos and fear, acts of heroism and selflessness emerged. Teachers and staff members worked tirelessly to protect their students, risking their own lives to ensure their safety. Despite their valiant efforts, 6 innocent lives were tragically lost, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of those who knew and loved them. Today, we remember the lives abruptly taken away on that fateful day. They were young souls with bright futures, full of dreams and potential. Their absence is a painful reminder of the devastating consequences of violence within our schools. In the aftermath of the Cleveland Elementary School shooting, the community of San Diego rallied together to support the grieving families and heal the wounds inflicted by this senseless act of violence. Memorials were erected, remembrance events were held, and survivors found solace in the collective strength of their community. And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. Thank you very much for watching.